Also, today's lesson, writing equations in slope-intercept forms. You've already really figured out kind of the hard part, so I'll work a couple of examples here, give you some examples to work through. But writing equations in slope-intercept forms, so that's what our objective is here. Okay, they're going to give us, to start off with, they're going to give us an ordered pair, then they're going to give us the slope. Okay, so they're going to give us those two things. So we've already got one of the two things that we need, right? Because we've already talked about the two components that we have to have are slope and what else? Yeah, the y-intercept. Okay, so they've already given us the slope here. We've got m is equal to 3, so we're good there. But then we just have to go ahead and find the y-intercept. So very simply, in order to do that, okay, using the form y equals mx plus b like we've been doing. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to just plug in our numbers. So as we've already talked about, the x and the y, which represent the ordered pair. Okay, the numbers from the ordered pair. So the y, which will be the 5. Okay, then we have our slope, which is 3. The x, which is -2. Okay, and once again, we're looking for the y-intercept. That's our variable. Okay, so now we're just going to solve the equation. Okay, add the 6, and okay, what do we get? 11. Okay. All right. So once again, though, that's not our ultimate objective. Our ultimate objective is what we want to do is to write this in the form of a linear equation. Okay. So we're going to take those two components that we have. Okay, our slope, which is 3, our y-intercept, which is 11. Plug those in, and we get y is equal to 3x plus 11. Okay. That is going to be. That was weird. Okay, okay, that's going to be your answer right there. Okay, y'all try those two. Okay, go ahead and find your y-intercept, and once you find that, take your slope and y-intercept and write your linear equation. Okay, on the first one, we're going to take our slope, we're going to plug that into the form y equals mx plus b, which is -1. Okay, so we're going to then also plug in our numbers from the ordered pair. Okay, solve the equation, in which we would get -3. So once we have our slope, which is -1, we have our y-intercept -3. Plug that into the form y equals mx plus b, in which we get y is equal to -x minus 3. Okay, then for the second one, plug in our numbers there. Slope, which is 1/2. Okay, then we have 4 and 2. Plug those in, so half of 4, which is 2. Okay, subtract that, we get 0. Now this is the thing on this one. You see I did not write plus 0. Okay, you don't have to do that with linear equations. Now, as we talked about earlier, okay, whenever we have standard form, we do have to have a c over there. We have to have a number for that, so that's why we put a 0 on that. But for this one here, okay, we can just write that as y is equal to 1/2 x. It's inferred that 0 is there, but we don't have to write plus 0. Okay, any questions on those two? Okay. Okay, now the next thing we're going to look at, this is what we did right before we started the lesson today, okay, in which you have two ordered pairs. Okay, here we have two ordered pairs, and what we're going to do, we're going to find, well, y'all tell me, what are we going to find first? What do we have to find first? Yeah, the slope. What are we going to use to find slope? Emma? That's right. Okay, we're going to do the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So to find our slope, okay, we're going to plug in our numbers, in which we would get 4 minus 1 over 2 minus 3. Okay, so then we discovered that our slope is equal to -3. Now, just like what we did last time when they gave us the slope, okay, now we're just going to take our slope, plug it in the form y equals mx plus b. Now, this is the thing, though. Does it matter, once again, does it matter which ordered pair I use? No. Okay, it doesn't matter which one. So just go with the first one here. We got 3, 1. Okay, and solve the equation. Okay, so now we have our y-intercept, which is 10. It's our equation, which is y is equal to -3x plus 10. Okay. All right. Any questions on that? Okay. I'll try these two. Okay, right there. Okay. So what we have here is we talked about with the first one we have our two ordered pairs. So we got to find our slope to begin with, difference of y over difference of x, in which we end up with a -4. Okay, we're going to take our -4, plug that into the equation for slope, and then we also take one of the two ordered pairs. So if we go with the first one, we'd have 12 is equal to -4 times -1. Okay, then we're going to subtract that 4 from 12, in which we get 8 for our y-intercept, and we're going to plug that in which we would get y is equal to -4x plus 8. All right, then for the second equation, difference of y, which would be 0 plus 8 over difference of x, -7 minus 5 for -12. Simplify that, which we get -2/3. Okay, plug that in. Okay, I chose the second ordered pair this time. Okay, we get 0 is equal to -2/3 times -7 plus b. We end up with 14 over 3 plus b is equal to 0. Okay, then that's going to give us, okay, we subtract the 14 over 3. We get -14 over 3. For y is equal to -2/3 x minus 14 over 3. Okay. All right, y'all, for your assignment, this will be page 229. Do problems 10 through 21. Okay, do all of those, and then also 26 through 30, do the evens, and then 72 through 76, okay, doing the evens.